what specifically I wanted to do. I know that I want to do some kind of law, and there's a million different fields within that. So then breaking that down into, I know I want to do international law. Okay, so then what schools have a program for that? Surprisingly, a pretty small amount. There's not many that have a specific school for foreign policy, for international affairs. And then also through our junior guidance health class, we went over, the physical process of how to apply to these schools, specifically at Georgetown, where it's not on the Common App, so it's its own application you need to navigate. And so in that class, he went over, how to break down this whole process of physically submitting the forms. So I think the number one thing is the history that it has, the type of people that it's produced. It's the oldest school of foreign service in the world at this point, and as a result of that, it's probably the most well-known. The alumni that have come out of that school it includes presidents, Bill Clinton being the most notable, all the way to the King of Spain went there. It is the alumni network that it has, it touches every single corner of the globe. And also beyond that, just where it's positioned, not only in the world, but in DC, it's across the street from every embassy. I'd say the biggest thing is that it taught me to be a stakeholder in my learning and my growth towards my career. I know I am kind of interesting because I transferred to CBA. And so at my previous school, it was a lot more, a student sitting there and a teacher just instructing. At CBA, I think it's a lot more the cooperation between the two, that a student's an equal shareholder in the discussion. A lot of classes are more heavily discussion-based as opposed to just taking tests. And I think that that's prepared me really well to be someone who can go into an unknown environment and recognize right away that I'm a stakeholder, that my voice needs to be heard, and that I can't just sit back and have other people necessarily tell me that this is the way that something needs to be. I need to be the one who says, well, could it be this way? Why is it that way? What other angle could we look at it from? That type of thing. People have interests. They obviously do stuff with people that they're in a club with or in a team with, whatever like that. But at least within my grade, everybody knows everybody. Everybody's incredibly close with each other. Everybody does things with each other, out of school, over summer. It's not just like you have your group of people here. It's like everybody knows everybody. And I don't know necessarily if that's the fact that we are a small school, which I think is an asset, but also just the culture that we fostered here over 50 years at this point. I think that that's probably the biggest thing that I'll be left with.